It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
We can start now. Amazing. All I care about is the commercials play, because that's all anybody wants to know. Do the commercials play? We played them.
If I have to hear another Mario Andretti commercial, I'm going to personally, I'm going to drop kick this program. This guy, Mario Andretti's talking about Meals on Wheels, how old people can't get their food. Listen, the oldest man alive just became the president of the United States. If you become president through Corona, you can get in your walker and heave yourself down to that bodega, Agnes. Okay?
That's the only reason why we're on it. That's the only reason why. Because Peter's like, it's a big day. And he's like, we have to have the show. It's a big, have you noticed Wednesdays are the best days for stuff to happen? Especially in the U.S. Capitol thing, the inauguration, the police finding the bodies in Peter's basement, all happen on Wednesdays.
In the middle of the week, when you have stuff happen in the middle of the week, you have the excitement that the week's almost over, but also you're still disgruntled. So you're going to have a lot of energy, but you're going to commit some foul things, all right? The Capitol, all of them come at once.
Did we even talk about I just looked at the sheet today. Did we even talk about the Brooklyn Nets last week? Did we talk about them last week?
That happened right after the show.
That happened right after the show.
We should talk about that later, but whatever. But, oh my God, I hate this.
What's the problem now?
No, nothing. It's just, what a pain in the butt. What a pain in the ass. I can say ass. What a pain in the ass.
It's in the Bible.
Is it really?
Yes.
Ass in the Bible?
Yeah.
Peter's devout Catholic.
And Eastern Orthodox.
Wait, Peter, can you tell Jared what happened when I was over your house the other day with the cop?
Oh, God.
Listen to
So,
this,
Austin was over...
Jared.
What?
I was saying, listen to this, Jared.
I'm
Yeah,
listening.
so Austin was over. We're about to go to the Ponquag Bridge in Hampton Bays. By Dune Road, by the ocean.
We're going to make out.
Right. And also shoot some drone footage for the new
music video
gig we're getting involved with.
NDA,
And
don't forget.
we're about to leave, and we just see this SUV, navy blue. My house has a little side road that goes to the house in the back, and the person comes out with a uniform, a police uniform on, state police, coming towards our door, and it's like, is this 23 whatever road? I'm like, this goes down here right now. And I'm like, no, that's in the back. That's the house in the back. And she was there for a while. Then she got back in her car, drove close to our place.
It was a female police officer. State trooper?
Exactly.
Okay.
But unmarked car, it looks like. Just navy blue. That was it. SUV.
Navy blue SUV. All right. Did you get a name, Peter?
What are you eating?
Comment.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
But keep going. Wait, just keep later.
So-
Jesus.
Alright. Okay. So, she comes back to us and asks us if we have any contact information for the man in the back. Which was actually, she was looking for,
So
she was looking for like the woman, I guess the wife. And
Peter, I got a couple questions because you're moving as slow as Joe Biden's thought process. Okay, so does someone live in your backyard?
no, the house in the back. I made that very clear.
Peter, okay, Peter, you have a house in the Hamptons. All right, I'm not sure how big the acreage is on the land. Maybe you rent it out.
It's huge. It's pretty big.
A house in the
No,
back.
it's a different address. I said it's a different address.
Okay, so your neighbor's house.
Correct.
All right, I didn't hear that part, Peter. I did not hear that part. I forgive
You
you.
gotta pay attention. Anyway, I'm sorry. So she's just asking us about it, like the people in the back, and it's like we met them and stuff. I don't want to disclose too much. That's the problem. But she was saying, "Oh, it's the woman there that I have to ask about a weird incident that happened with the woman." We had no other details. We just gave her the man's number, called up my parents, and they gave it to her. So we don't know what's going on. I mean, the only thing is that we know the guy by this regular name. The echo is really throwing me off, Austin. Like,
You have an echo now?
I understand.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Echo.
It's like, yeah, that's what I was
The
talking
delay. The delay.
The delay,
Well,
that's what it is.
Listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to put your head down and power through it. I'm getting the echo right now, but guys, you got to stay on track. Peter, you're telling this story so slow that it's making me think that you're making it up on the spot. Your improv skills are not sharp. I understand that you're a producer, you're behind the camera, but Peter, it seems like you're making this up. All right. You talk about a female cop who was in an unmarked car, talking about an old lady behind you that's not on your property, but kind of is.
By the time Peter's done, we'll have a new president already. Honestly.
This delay, man.
All right, let's skip it. Well, yo, that's what I had to do it before, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's just delay."
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm not saying you.
I was totally
I'm not saying him. I'm saying that's what everybody's thinking. I'm a drama queen. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't think so. I never said that. So,
all right, let's start.
I don't know.
Let's start. It's been 25 minutes on StreamYard, 15 minutes on Butt.
So we don't know what's up with the.
Basically, there's someone shady living by Peter.
Okay.
That's all he had to say. There was someone shady. A cop
I
came
mean, but
up.
that's not okay.
All right.
That's not what you asked me to do. But
Well, I did actually tell a story, not tell a whole novella.
Okay. What
no, that was the story. The cop came and they're asking us questions.
Yeah, and then I told Peter to say they don't talk to the feds, but he didn't do it.
But they're not feds.
Story?
State
Wait, how's the story? The cop came to ask you questions. Let me tell you something. It's a Wednesday in Chicago. All right. So if you gonna come on this platform and have some stories, Peter, you gotta add some panache to it.
It's my fault. I thought it was a fair
You
story.
gotta add the MSG that your father so eloquently puts in his dishes. Okay, you gotta spice it up. So, what happened? What was so elegant about it?
They just weird this whole time, ever since they moved in. And now this state trooper in an unmarked SUV comes by our house and starts asking us questions about them, particularly the woman who none of us met yet. And so I have no other details, but it was just bizarre, and it just held us up from shooting the drone footage at the bridge.
So why didn't you offer the drone to the cop so you can get an overlay of the neighbor's house to see if there are any body parts and barrels rotting away?
Because Peter doesn't want to give up his spot. That's the whole point. Peter doesn't want to give up his spot, so he doesn't want to tell the cop. All right, let's move on. All right, you did the intro. Let's do the two things in a cap, whatever it is. All right, it's me. Okay, let's think. Okay, what I did this week.
Yo, don't rush it. We could just. This is gonna be the quickest show ever, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is gonna be the quickest show.
This is what the girls say to Peter.
Things we're gonna get it out. So go ahead, Pete. Go ahead, Austin.
Okay, so weekly recap. Two truths and a lie.
Let me
sure,
introduce-
go for it.
We're gonna move on to the weekend recap. You know how we do it, people. One of us is gonna give a recap of our week, our weekend. Two of them is gonna be the truth, and one of them is gonna be the lie. We have to sit here and decipher which one is the truth and which one is the cap. This week we got Austin holding it down. So Austin, give us your weekend recap, man. What did you do this week?
All right, let's see, this week. Okay, I watched Peter play hockey by himself at Red Creek Park at night with no lights. Okay, Peter, me, and his sister were watching Star Wars Clone Wars. We got to a bunch of episodes because I don't know, it was so much fun, I guess. And then the third cap would be that. Oh man, what's the other thing I did? I'm trying to see if I can stump you. This be all with Peter, so you can try to interrogate Peter. Peter's dad offered to be in one of our sketches. He said he wants to be in one of our sketches. Now look at Peter's face and let's see which cap you can get. Peter's out because Peter knows all about this stuff, so it's pretty much all you. Which I should have did it a different way, but this game's hard.
This game is the most simplest. It's two truths and a lie.
But you can't do it right. You're the one that can't do it right either. Remember last week? He can't do it right.
Listen to me. You only claim that I do it wrong because you can never get it right. All right?
No. Did he do it wrong last week? He did it wrong last week. Look, there goes his camera. Look, he's gone. Here we go. He's gone.
Even my camera agrees with me because it turned off because it didn't want me to get all the truth out on you. All right? So listen. I'm thinking you watched Star Wars Clone Wars with Peter's sister. That seems like a very mundane thing to do with Peter's sister. You're keeping it fresh. You're keeping it funky. All right, so I believe that Clone Wars is a pretty good series. I must admit that. I believe you
Never
did
seen
that.
it.
Peter, what?
No.
You've never seen it. Okay, it's not. See now you're doing it wrong. I don't particularly care about this set of things because I know Peter got you ice skates, and for me to imagine Peter ice skating at night in the dark, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for me to put that into my circuit of a brain thought. I do think your father would ask to be in one of our sketches. Not a sketch. I think he would want to be on the podcast. I think he would want to talk because after how Peter violated that man's existence last show, I think he would want the people to know how he actually speaks and how he doesn't have an accent.
You'll be sadly wrong if you think that.
For the
Whatever,
record,
man.
What?
Austin's
No,
the
don't
one
help,
that did it.
Peter.
Now, Peter, go ahead.
What? What were you gonna say, Peter?
I would say Austin's the one that did that last week. That wasn't me. So, go on.
That's right. Excuse me. Austin did try to peer pressure you into racist.
Tell him the truth.
Racistly
Because-
displaying your father.
If you're gonna do your father's voice like you do it with me, this show is all about being truth. And if you're gonna do it, then don't even bring it up.
I didn't bring it up. You did.
I know, but I wanted you to do it because it's funny.
Austin wanted Peter to do a rendition of his father.
Because Peter does it. Peter does it in front of him with me there, and it's so, like I would pay money to see that on stage. It's just so funny what he does, and then Peter like just didn't want to didn't give the people what I wanted.
Austin wanted Peter to do a rendition of his father that would have made Mao Zedong roll over in his grave. Okay, this guy he wanted the fury of Genghis Khan in Peter's voice. That's what he wanted, and he didn't get it.
But you got
I don't know Mongolian at all.
on these social inquiries. Austin has a soft spot in his heart for those things.
But you have to remember, it's not like Peter. Why don't you do something like this? It's like this is what Peter does, and that's why it's just funny. It's like, come on, you got to do it for everybody. You do it so funny, and he just didn't want to do it. It's not like me making up. Like Peter, for this show, I want you to go really like do your dad's accent, but ham it up. No, all right, keep going.
But
That was it. Oh, Peter. He said I'm not Mongolian. You racist. That's what he said.
I didn't say that. I just said I don't know Mongolian, so I definitely can't do Genghis Khan.
Peter, with the amount of time that he pillaged and did what he did to all those people in the world, you might have a little Genghis Khan in you.
I don't doubt that.
All right.
Of course.
This guy was slinging it like Magic Johnson and Wilt Chamberlain combined. All right. His seed is everywhere. I think I'm gonna. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'm just gonna say number one.
You say number one's the cat?
Yeah.
Which is what? What was number one? Oh, the ice skating?
Yeah.
You'd be completely wrong. He did that last night. We got to Red Creek Park at 4:00, and there was these kids playing about probably not even 16, just 15-year-olds playing, and Peter and I waited until dark when their mom and dad had to pick them up to go play. And it was pitch dark, and you see Peter by himself while me sharing a light shooting hockey pucks into the net. I did watch with Grace Marie, with his sister, and Peter's dad specifically said he never wants to be in anything Peter ever does. He does not like to be on camera. He wants nothing to do with anything that Peter does in front of the camera.
Peter, what's up with that food though? I need to try.
Dude, it was so good yesterday. I had food yesterday. Oh my god, it was.
Tell me.
It was.
Did they invite me to that?
Listen, I had to. After it was yesterday, right after the skating, and I went to go. I was like, Peter, you want to write something? And I came to his house, and we were writing in his basement. And you know what it is? Peter's parents are the best. Peter's family is the best because they treat you like you're royalty there. It's amazing. I got my own studio set up right in their basement. I'm typing up sketches, and all I hear is Peter yelling at his parents, and his mom's like, Peter, give him more food. And then his dad's like, Peter, did he eat enough? Give him more. Give him more. It's like, it's amazing. I had tea. Okay, so first thing I had was soup. What kind of soup was it?
It's a soup I made.
Okay, a soup he made. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was good. It was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then your dad made noodles, right? Noodles, brown rice, and what kind of fish was it?
Sea bass.
Sea bass. And I had like 3 plates of it.
Some information that y'all think I would like to know. I like.
Well,
sea
here's
bass.
the thing. Every time I text you, you're in the city doing something. So if you want to come down to Long Island,
Listen, all you got to do is just ask, and I'll tell you where I'm at. You ain't got to assume. But I did say last
Peter.
show, I'm trying to.
Peter, you should. You know what you should do. You should invite him.
Pun intended.
All right,
And don't
so Jared,
wait.
listen.
Jared,
And
hold
don't
on.
feel like I can't hear it. Okay, the mic is not modulated no more. I can hear it.
Damn
Exactly
it.
everything I'm
No,
saying.
Jared. Well, Peter, you should. You know what you did for me yesterday. You should because you wanted to. It'd be cool. Maybe your parents meet. Our partner. Maybe.
No, I think so. I think so.
All right, he's gonna ask you something.
I think we're ready for that. I think we're at
I
that.
think we're ready. I think we're ready to bring him home.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, ask
Yo,
me.
I don't like the way this is sounded. All I gotta say is, Austin, how does it feel to have your own setup in Peter's house, yet not be his mom's favorite on the podcast?
Dude, it's true. I should have brought that up yesterday. No one. I should have brought up. No wonder why she was extra nice yesterday. It was shady. It was something was shady, and that's the reason why your dad wouldn't look at me in the eye.
It wasn't shady because remember our last show was nowhere to be found. All right, we texted.
Oh yeah.
Speedy. We texted Speedy. He said it's in the wind. It's gone. It ran away.
No, it's not. It's not Speedy's fault. No, what it is, it's
I'm
not.
not saying
It's,
I'm not saying it's
No,
Speedy's fault, but we
it's
don't
really
know
our
where,
fault.
ladies and gentlemen. So that
well, here's the thing. The best show that we had, right, was perfect. It was so good. It's not uploaded because a lot of places in the stream it got modulated where we couldn't hear. So Speedy asked us to send him the butt file, but Peter and I looked everywhere in the computer and it did not record anywhere. So I guess they don't want to do it because it'll look bad. It will look bad. Maybe we can get the file. Maybe we can post some clips of it. But definitely not the full show. But no, PD does everything. There's none. It's just sometimes stuff happens. But Peter, you should do it.
So just to go back a little, Austin did say it right. It wasn't ice skating though, but he said it right. I was skating. I was inline skating on my Mars Blade skates. Really good. And yes, Jared, I think that February 12th, that is the Chinese New Year. You should come over our place because Austin's going to be over for the New Year, the Lunar New Year dinner.
If you want the real food.
I want the real food. I want something to still be alive when it goes into my stomach. All right?
You have to
Peter,
bring something.
That's what I
Okay.
need. What is the appropriate thing that I have to bring? Because listen, when I come to somebody's house, I don't come empty-handed. If I go to somebody's house, I'm always having like Oreos or a bag of ice or some wine. What should I bring? What should I bring as a sign of respect to your parents, but also something that can contribute to the authenticity of the meal?
I was gonna ask that.
Okay.
I was gonna ask that.
That's actually a good question, Jared. If you want to bring something, you could look. If I don't know how familiar you are with the wine and the liquor stores around you, or
Wait, why
anywhere.
are you telling Jared to bring wine and liquors?
Well, he asked, so I'm telling him.
I did that.
So I think if you could find a nice Chinese rice wine or whatever kind of alcoholic beverage that they have that's good. I don't know if they do the Scotch. I know a lot of East Asia has bourbon Scotch. So
Can you send us an Amazon link or something?
Scotch.
I'll look it up. I mean, I'll help
Rice
out.
wine, guys. I've been getting into a lot of Asian culture. The food. There's a Filipino spot by my job that I tried out. I had a salog. It's like fried. It's like toasted garlic rice with an egg and like stewed beef. That was fire. It was fire. I had a little pastry from there. It's called Guirdelco in Westbury. That's a plug, but they're like, I don't think they would even mind because they're like literally behind the dumpster, guys. I had to fight 3 homeless people to get to that spot. They're pretty good. But Peter, February 12th, I'm gonna be there.
11th.
all right?
It's 11th. The 11th. But Peter, he doesn't drink. Jared doesn't
I don't
drink.
care. I'll bring something and I'll contribute to the meal. You can't go to somebody's house
Oh, there goes
empty-handed.
State's camera.
All right, you stop bringing it up. You know what happened. All right, there you go.
Wait, what can I bring? If he's gonna bring that, I don't want to bring the
Right.
same thing.
It's back.
What can I bring?
I don't know. I have to think about that one
Why'd you give him the easy one? Why do I get the hard one?
because he asked first. So
I did ask first.
That's crazy.
I did ask first,
That's crazy.
guys. All right. I didn't know that was the cap, but we got the cap. Let's get into it because we're gonna have a speed lightning show, guys. All right.
Here we go.
I wanted to let me add real quick. I'm sorry. My birthday is 4 days before the New Year, so just remember that.
All right, Peter. You got to give me a date. All right, because
Yeah,
I
4
did all
days.
days. I'm not sure if it's the 12th or the 11th.
11.
February 8th.
So
February
it is
8th
the
is his
12th.
birthday. No,
Austin,
it's
you're
the
wrong.
11th. It's the 11th, you said. Chinese New
No,
Year.
my birthday.
Your birthday's the 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said
8,
the New
9,
Year's
10,
the 12th.
11, 12. You said 4 days. That's 12. Is Chinese New Year's the 11th or the 12th?
Austin, Peter said the Chinese New Year is February 12th when he
It's the
started
12th.
before. And
You told
thought
me
it
the
was
11th.
No, I told you the 12th.
Okay, the 12th.
You gotta
What
listen.
day?
Ain't no more
Oh, it's on
modulation. You
Google.
gotta listen, brother. All right.
Is it really the 12th?
Last night and today it
That's
says,
Friday.
well, here on Bing, the 12th as well. So
All right.
This guy would have showed up with a whole Peking duck on your doorstep on the 11th. You wouldn't be
I'll
able to
bring duck.
That would have been messed up.
As long as it's like, something I could find out to go travel. It's something at BJ's would be cool.
I can ask my father.
Yeah, ask your dad. Ask Lenny. Ask him what Lenny could bring.
That's too
Now,
good.
now Austin bring something mystical, like the tears.
Please don't make me have to go all the way to like freaking the Bronx to find this thing. Okay, we're gonna do a whole journey, a whole movie based off this.
I'm funny
That's
how
funny.
it's funny how you think that Bronx is a place where you can find mystical stuff. Like
'Cause that's where that's all the fun stuff happens. Have you seen the news? All the fun stuff happens in the Bronx.
Speaking of the Bronx, let's get Jair in here real quick. Just to
Oh, he's
talk
here?
about I'm gonna call him. See if he answers. I'm gonna talk about the stuff going on in the Bronx because he works at Trader Joe's in the Bronx.
Wait, text him. Wait, actually, just text him. We could send him the link to StreamYard so he could just come right in from his phone so we can all see it.
Did that? It seemed like he was streaming from a Game Boy
Oh,
arcade.
okay. You're right.
So if he doesn't answer, then we know. We know.
The 12th. I'll have to ask my secretary. If I can
Doesn't
come.
seem like the brother's answering. So guys, let's get into this inauguration. Joseph R. Biden Jr., which is it's a little disrespectful to call a man that looks like that Jr., but Joseph R. Biden Jr. and Kamala Harris are the new president and vice president of the
46, right?
46th president and vice president of the United States.
I've been by President of the United States.
How are we feeling about this, guys?
I think that as long, I don't know anything about politics, but it seems that people are happy. You see Instagram, no one's yelling at each other. Everybody's being, nice. So I think it's good for us. We need somebody that has experience. We need somebody that knows the way it works. No matter what you believe in, you can say he's bad. He's gonna be a bad president or good president. He knows how to do stuff. He was vice president. You don't have to learn anything. He can
True.
walk right into it, and because of that, people will just be happier. Like I was in a sketch writing class. I was in a sketch writing group yesterday, and the first 30 minutes was just like bashing Trump and just talking how good Biden's going to be. Which I don't really know what's what, but if those people are happy, if the people that are writing sketches are happy, then be it. But I tell you who's pissed off: the Weekend Update people at SNL, because they're actually going to write jokes now.
They gotta write jokes, but listen, I think you can't let a theater kid get a hold of a Trump conversation, because if a theater kid gets a hold of a Trump conversation, they're probably gonna end up crying 4 minutes into the whole dialogue.
Oh my God, my acting teacher did
Like,
that.
this man came to their house, farted it on all their pillowcases, like took all their food, threw it in the garbage, and set it on fire. There's like a personal vendetta that certain people have with Trump, and then now you have Kamala and Joe coming in, and it's all the yes, queen, you do this, you do that. Dude, shut up. You don't know these people. And how do you know they're going to complete everything that you want to? I get it, the rhetoric that comes with Trump's name, a lot of racism, a lot of hate, extremely petty. Did America wrong? You let those people go to the Capitol. I get all that. You cross the line of being a president. But you're acting like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris is going to be your savior, and is going to save all your memes, and is going to keep Hamilton going on for Broadway for 3 years. It's not. All right.
No, exactly. These people don't like. I don't like to talk about this, but these people that post on Instagram and stuff don't know anything. They go Trump bad, Biden good. Trump bad, Biden good. No matter what, but here's the thing: no matter what Biden does, it's gonna be oh, he's the best. He's so much better than Trump. Trump is now the benchmark for bad presidents in everybody's eyes.
And honestly, he didn't. I understand. The rhetoric that was on his name 4 years ago wasn't a good choice. I get it. Didn't have experience, but for what he did these last 3 weeks, he definitely deserved it to be disrespecting America. But these guys are looking at Joe Biden and they're looking at Kamala Harris, and it's like, oh, things are going to change now. No, it's not.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow. Nothing's changed.
It's going to have 1 million less views because you're not going to blame it on Trump and you're not going to blame it on racism. You're going to look at Biden and go like, oh, weren't you guys supposed to stop this? And then Kamala's going to go like this, and then it's going to go viral on TikTok, and everyone's going to go crazy over her.
So you do the snap.
Guys, how do we know these people are going to do this? I get
That's the whole point. That's the whole thing. It's like we.
Go ahead.
We base politics on like if we like the person or not. So it's so dumb because I understand Trump is bad. Fine, whatever you think, whatever you want. Trump bad. Anybody, I don't care. But if you think that everything's going to change within like a second, if you think that they're going to have all the promises, he could have promised. All right, listen, we're going to move everybody. We're going to move everybody to the moon. We're going to move the whole colonization to the moon, and people will believe it. It's just because it's all about like how you know what they're going to do.
How do you know? Guys? That's what we ask. How do you know? Because you don't know. You don't know until something happens. You don't know what the future holds. You can predict. You know what the future holds off of your surroundings. You know what history has for us. History, Trump's probably going to be the worst hated president in history. We can say that. And that's overlooking people who had slaves and, Thomas Jefferson was getting down with Sally every other day. Getting children that look like Stephen Curry. This is what we have. That's what we have to look at. But for the future, we don't know what's in store. So we can't.
Man, you gotta give it up for like you talk about right place, right time. It's like a movie almost. That who can we get to almost forget about the last 4 years? Let's get a guy that was vice president of one of the most beloved presidents, no matter what. I don't care what you say. If you're good or bad, this is what everybody says. This is what the people are saying.
And what if the brother was playing the saxophone on MTV, and then he joined Monica Lewinsky, and it went downhill from there. Okay,
it's just like how can we write? Like you're sitting in writers' room, like how can what people, what type of person can we put this the opposite of Trump, and that's who they got. So the PR department's having a field day. They love this. He's beloved already. He hasn't even done one thing yet, and he's already beloved. Now I hope that he does good stuff. I hope that people just shut up about politics because it used to be so nice. I didn't care about your opinion about. I don't care about your opinion about if you like the president or not. I just care. What do you like? Are you fun? I don't care what you like. And then now, hopefully, people stop asking you a Trump supporter, but people just got to calm down and just go back to normal life. Now, Peter is ready to go. Peter is charged up. If you're watching Peter's screen, Peter is charged up. Now, Peter's going to tell you.
About to have a monologue that will put most of the good goat hunting script to shame. So go right ahead, Peter.
Here we go. I'm Peter, the culmination of everything you've been telling me for the past 2 months. Here we go, Peter. Go.
Hold on, wait. Let me get some food. I'm going to get some food.
Hold on, get something quick.
Hold on.
All right, wait. We'll wait for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to get is something that you cannot find anywhere else. Peter Lewis is going to break down the whole president. Everything is about to. He's about to put some respect on everybody's name. He's about to pull back the curtain. He is about to slam dunk on the U.S. government. This type of monologue might put us on the no-fly list. Okay? What he might say might offend people. Viewer discretion is advised. Because, man. Oh, here we go. All right, and Peter, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's the new presidency. It's old faces. Kamala Harris came out of nowhere. She's the queen of incarceration. What was BLM about? Black Lives Matter. It was about opposing mass incarceration, and she didn't play that stuff when she was Attorney General in California. She withheld DNA evidence that could have exonerated someone on death row, and ended up delaying his sentence. She didn't tell, I think it was like the jury, that some of this drug testing was botched, and Other people were either sentenced to prison or maybe it was death row again. And she tried to keep prisoners past their sentence to still be workers for different corporations, making clothes or whatever they do, or to be firefighters. And the prisoners in Cali, when they get out of prison, whenever Kamala lets them out, they can't become firefighters. They're felons and they can't get a job like that. So I really don't know what to say. I mean, Joe Biden, he already did so many racist things. You heard Pence and Trump at their debates talk about how he wrote the crime bill, 94. He said many racist things, even on the campaign trail. He brought neo-Nazis to power in Ukraine. And the Hunter thing. He profited off the whole thing, charisma and all that.
Exactly. Let me tell you something, people. If you're not agreeing with what Peter Louis is saying right now, you ain't black.
He said Louis. He said Peter Louis.
Go ahead, Peter. Continue.
So it's really a bad situation. I mean, Trump kept asking Biden at the debate, who built the cages? Who built those cages? Biden wasn't answering because he knows exactly who did it, and that was him and Obama. They built the cages at the border. They started all that stuff. Trump didn't do much more. In fact, because people were actually protesting, they were demonstrating against the deportations, Trump, in his first term, deported less people than Obama did in his first term. So you got to keep the pressure up. I think it will happen. I think that will happen. You got Occupy, you got BLM, you got all the natives' rights movements, the DAPA pipeline. Everyone was demonstrating against those things, and we have to keep going.
Now, Peter, my question to you is that, do you think with the media and you think with everybody, how do you feel about people posting on social media that don't know anything? Because you're very educated in what, Peter knows a lot about politics. So when you go on Instagram and you see these people that don't know anything just about what the news tells them, what do you have to say to those people that spread these kind of, I guess you'd say, lies or misinformation? What would you say to these people?
Let's go full screen on the brother.
Yeah, here we go. While you eat.
I'm always patient. I'm not unreasonable. Like just because people aren't so enlightened, let's say, they don't know. I don't put it against them. A lot of people don't. I was in that boat maybe 12 years ago. I've been reading this stuff a long time, and I don't look down at people. I don't look down at anyone at face value. If they say, "Oh, I voted for Biden. I voted for Trump. I support Biden. I support Trump. I have hope in this. I have hope in that." I don't look down at people at face value. I think that a lot of people are just undereducated about this stuff, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason why. George Carlin said it brilliantly.
What he said?
He said there's a reason why that our educational system sucks, and there's a reason why it's not going to get any better.
Or was it a joke, though?
Well, he was just saying that basically they want us to be obedient workers. They want us to be obedient workers that don't question anything, we just go about our boring lives. Because if they educate us right, then they'd be out of power. I'm paraphrasing here. But he's one of my favorite comedians, and he said it right. And it's if there's like something really bad that people are sharing, I'll point out to them nicely.
All right, because I want to go to different, but what is one thing that you see people posting about that they're completely wrong?
All right. So Kamala Harris. Everyone's saying, "Wow, this is great. Yes, Queen." But like I said, she's Queen of incarceration, which I thought we were opposing.
Yes, Queen. Yes.
Exactly. And everyone's saying how this is such a victory. This is such a victory that she's vice president. She's the first South Asian vice president. She's the first black vice president. First woman vice president. But what?
White House gonna be smelling like pho and oxtails. You already get that. Go ahead.
Pho? I mean, she's Indian. She's not Vietnamese.
Excuse me.
That's Southeast Asian.
White House gonna be
Here we
smelling
go.
like, I don't want to say curry. That's
And Jared got canceled.
Curry's good.
Jared got canceled. What are you eating? That was good.
I mean,
That was good.
Cake.
Dude, you know, I was so mad because
Ladies and gentlemen.
before you let me tell you something. Before you texted me, I was gonna grab a cheese platter from the grocery store. Because remember how good the show was the other day when we were eating? I was like, that's what we're gonna do. And then Jared texted me saying, I'm like, all right, I'm doing a remote. All right, keep on going, Peter. Okay, so if you could just say to the American people, this is your. What would you say to the American people to not be like sheep, just like don't believe all this stuff? What's one thing that you want people to know for the next 4 years about what's going to go on?
Being that Kamala might be the president, Biden might step down at this point with his mental condition and all that. I want people to look at people's records. I want them to be honest. I want them to realize that just because these minority people in the United States are holding positions of power, it's not a victory that they're in power. If they're acting like the same people before them, who came before them for decades, like that's just telling your kid. That's telling everyone's kids, oh wow, I could just be like them if I act like a total monster. I act like someone who just wants to destroy, who just wants to kill people. I mean, freaking withholding DNA evidence that could have at least delayed and did delay a person's execution. That's attempted murder. That's attempted murder, and she should have been tried for that. I mean, there's also a whole thing with her and Trump's treasurer, Secretary of the Treasury, Mnuchin.
But that's a different thing. It just got out. I don't know what's up.
Peter, look what you did. Now when we go on Instagram, we're gonna be getting advertisements from funeral homes now because now we have to plan our own funeral, Peter.
Do you hear me?
No, I can't hear anything.
I hear everybody. I hear everybody.
You hear everybody.
You hear people?
Oh, why don't
Yeah, I
hear
hear
myself?
everybody.
Do you hear anything? Do you hear Jared?
I hear Jared. No, Jared's frozen.
And I hear
no, he's
everybody.
back. He's back.
He's back. They pulled
I
the
hear-
plug of my computer.
All right, Austin's off. So, I don't hear myself anymore.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know if it's from your thing.
Peter, you did too much, man. You can say all that stuff, but you got to throw a joke in there once in a while. All right.
No.
All right, so
This guy was spitting
Yeah.
straight bibliography facts.
hold on, Jared. We'll keep talking, Jared.
This guy went from Peter Lewis to Peter Britannica.
Oh,
Come on, bro.
come back in.
All right.
You know how this has to go. But I think what Peter was trying to say is
They pulled the plug. The FBI pulled the plug. They said Peter knows too much, and they pulled the freaking plug. Dude, that was crazy.
on a comedy radio show that has 789 streamers in an amount of 6 weeks. That's what they did. So if they're coming for us, only imagine what they're going to do to you, Andrew Schultz.
it's-
All right?
Yeah, dude, that's Peter. I'm sorry. I think we might take you off because the FBI clearly, listen, the FBI just censored me. Okay? Just censored because my computer was the one that was streaming to the radio.
They did that to a Jewish man, Peter. A Jewish man.
Did it to a Jew, Peter. Look what you've done.
Only
knew-
imagine what they're going to do to me or you.
I'll get out of jail. I'll talk my way out of it. You guys, it's over. Goodbye.
Peter, they're gonna
See you
send
later.
that lives behind you to kill you. All right? The operative, she's been a sleeper cell this whole time. She's been watching you, and now that she said what she said, she's going to come for you, and you're going to be done. You're going to be done, Peter. So watch yourself. You're going to have that drone up at night to watch their movements. You put some infrared on that thing. She's coming for you, and she's coming for you hard. Okay?
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting.
Wow.
Come get me, Kamala.
The FBI.
Get me,
pulled
Queen.
But
The
dude,
FBI pulled the plug.
I think
That's
what we
crazy.
have to say is that no matter what's going on in the country, hypocrisy is something that can loom within policy, within politicians. If there's a narrative that you can take advantage of, you're going to do it. Trump did we're oppressed, or white people are oppressed. We need our voices heard, make America great again. Biden, so execution.
The FBI is pulling the plug. I already told you this. Look what happened. I promise you.
I'm back on. The Biden obviously took advantage of the BLM. He got Kamala in there. He said, "Look, I got this black person to co-sign me. Funky Fresh. He did a hip hop pose like this." And then the man got into office, all right? There are narratives that people can take advantage of. I can sit here and say, oh, Granny Smith apples are bad to a whole crowd of people who don't like Granny Smith apples. They don't matter. I can get in with them. But secretly, I could be housing down apple turnovers from Stu Leonard's secretly in my backyard. No one's going to know. But But as long as I say it, as long as I take advantage of a whole narrative, I'm good. So that's what politicians do, man, and
Yeah,
that's no different than obviously the climate. The climate is different now because of George Floyd, because of everything that happened, but it's still that same thing. And
Well,
the
it's
work
just
is not done.
it's just that I don't like when people just think that who you leaving to?
Your dad?
Oh, my dad's there. Oh, man.
Yeah, Buffalo
People-
Tocon.
People are think that because this guy he's not Trump that we like this guy better, so this guy must be better. It's not the way it works, people. You don't know anything. Stop posting about it.
They're
Like,
all bought.
yeah, they don't know what
It's the same
what they're
people.
talking about it. I got a lot of friends, especially like Peter, including one of them, that actually know politics, and it just makes no sense when these people just post. They just retweet. They not retweet. They repost Joe Biden stuff, but they don't even know what it's about. It's just
People
dumb.
are very short-sighted. That's what we're kind of brought up to be like. It's all about short-term gratification. We're going to do this now. It's got to happen tomorrow. It's got to happen now. We can't think about 4 years down the line, 8 years, 10 years. It always has to be. I mean, the freaking Democrats. They, from 2000, they still hate Ralph Nader, but now they love George Bush, a war criminal.
All right, let's move on. What, Jericho?
I was going to say George Bush is out there in Texas making tables with his bare hands or something like that. But it's bread and circuses, people. And now that Kamala's in the White House, that bread is cocoa bread. All right,
It's true.
keep your eyes open, keep them peeled. The work is not done.
For the next 4 years, what you have to do is don't take everything at face value. Before you post, before you get into arguments with people, know what's going on and hope for the best. Hopefully, the next 4 years will go nice and smooth. Hopefully, they do what they say, and hopefully, everybody just shuts up about politics, and then we can go back to being funny, and we can go back to Weekend Update being funny again. That's all I want. Make Weekend Update great again.
You know who did get benefited by Trump's inauguration? Trump leaving?
Who?
Any celebrity that was in jail.
Yeah.
This
Do you see that?
guy, he cleared the name of Lil Wayne. He cleared the name of Kodak Black. I'm pretty sure he forgave all the taxes that Wesley Snipes didn't pay. This guy was just shelving out parties. We had Joe Exotic with a whole limousine outside the federal penitentiary waiting for him to get escorted out. He didn't even get the call yet. This guy was like premeditating, which how Carol Baskin premeditated that murder. He premeditated his release. This man released everyone who was a big wig name. He's not going away. He's still going to be involved somehow. Just how do we know? How do we know? How do you know? That he's going to be back in some way, shape, or form. The only time I heard that was the season finales of Dragon Ball Z. And I don't like that. I don't know what it means. I don't know how he's going to come back, but guys, he's going to come back. All right,
Trump. He's gonna make Trump TV, dude. What a great thing to do if you're Donald Trump's like, all right, how can I get people to like not hate me before I leave? Why don't you start pardoning all these rappers that people listen to? Because now when you talk about Lil Wayne, you'd be like, remember when Trump pardoned Lil Wayne? He did a whole Death Row Records. He didn't care. But he should have did that before. See, he didn't get the black vote, right? He didn't get the black vote. Joe Biden got most.
I heard that. I mean, he didn't obviously.
He should have just did that.
But yeah.
Imagine that. It's like that would just be something. Be funny that Trump be like, all right, how do I get the black vote? Let me just pardon a bunch of black rappers that people listen to. I just want to know what would have happened if you did that way before, because he had the power to do it all the time. Why do you wait now?
Yeah, and this might just be election day numbers, but apparently by like ethnicity and gender breakdown, the only group that Trump did not do better with by percentage was white males, like blacks, women. As of election day results, not necessarily the mail-in stuff. By percentage, I believe that more of them voted for him than white men did. That was Biden's strategy, though. It was weird. He was trying to court Republicans, like Hillary Clinton tried to do 4 years ago, and then he ended up doing worse than Clinton did 4 years ago. So I mean, yeah, it was just a weird thing, and whatever.
My thing is, I think Trump is going to get all the artists that he pardoned. He's going to get them together on a song. And the next thing you know, that's going to be his anthem, and it's going to go on his TV network, and it's going to be 1 billion streams, and it's going to go on Spotify. And 2024 comes around, That's going to be his campaign song. That's what I'm thinking.
It's gonna be instead of WAP, Trump.
Rap from the South. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be fire. Drake's going to want to be featured on it. This man is smart. He's still a marketing man, right?
You know, it'd be a great sketch where Donald Trump plays the Godfather, and Lil Wayne has to come in and goes, remember what I did for you. Remember? That'd be so funny. Oh my God.
Exactly.
But yeah, he's smart, like what he does and stuff. I mean, he knows that he's not just gonna part out of the blue. He's like, all right, you're gonna make the #1 hit song that Biden supporters are gonna be blasting. Because a good song's a good song. If a good song, I'm gonna blast it. If it's a good song.
That is true. I've been listening to Jasmine Sullivan recently, R&B artist. She talks about a lot of male genitalia and how how if it's up to a certain par that she'll do anything for the man that's giving her what she needs. Dude, I listened to that song 13 times in a row. It's called "Put It Down." She goes, "He put it down." And I'm in my car and I have a whole family looking at me singing that song. Listen. She keeps on making that quality of music. I'm gonna put it down, and what I'm gonna put down is my money for a ticket to one of her concerts. Man, it's very invigorating. I will say that it's extremely invigorating.
Because we live in a funny world. Listen, a good song's a good song, no matter what it's about.
Good song. We got a president and new vice president. Kamala Harris was dressed in all purple, looking like Barney. I wasn't sure if she was gonna put her hand on the Bible or start singing a song to an acoustic
The
guitar.
Barney bag. Put her hands in the Barney bag.
And you had the Obamas there, Michelle looking like a snack, like a whole thick piece of red velvet cake. And I don't care if the CIA comes for me. I said what I said. You can mess up this stream if you want to. No one's listening anyway. And,
oh my God! Yeah, all you one listener out there, no one's listening anyway.
You just and the fact that he won't show up to you won't show up to the inauguration.
Oh yeah, I was about to say it too. That's pretty funny.
Dude, just do your job. You're president. There's some things that we have to do. It's all custom, and I get it. That's what you got a popular off of. Oh, this is the politician that's going to keep it real. He doesn't give an F. But some things you got to play your part, and some things you got to do. And it's just you leave a farewell note like Biden's a babysitter. Oh, make sure you take the Congress out before
that's funny.
Go cranky, don't walk them out. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
That's just funny. Did you see the video? It's on Complex of him waving to when he's getting on the helicopter. But he's got it made now. He because he's president. He gets the Secret Service always, right? No matter what.
He had it made this whole time. His whole wife, she wasn't doing nothing. 15-year-old son, Barron, probably got the Xbox Series X all hooked up.
Oh, he got the Xbox Series X 2. The one that hasn't even came out or made yet. Yeah. He's already got it. He's already on Fortnite.
I wonder if she's going to divorce.
You think so? I don't think so. Because if she divorces him, does she not get Secret Service anymore? Is that right?
She wants citizenship. That's what she wants, probably. All right, I don't think security is her main frame. All right, she just wants citizenship. She can go out and make pierogies or whatever the hell she makes in her country in a safe space. She doesn't have to worry about a grizzly bear growling down her back when she goes to sleep, like she's in her home country.
She like what does she say now to her family? Be like, my husband's the president. Now what are you going to say now? That's like when you have a really great job. When you have a really great job and like, if the guy's kind of like a scummy dude or like people don't like him, but come on, he's on SNL. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But now it's like, now he just plays golf with me.
Yeah, he is the only person that is the same to you as holding basketball. That's the only thing that you got to connect to. But guys, man, we got these new presidents. Let's just hope that they talk to the middle and don't talk to the extremes of their own parties. Talk to everybody, get everybody involved. Biden said he's going to be everyone's president. So, man, become everybody's president, okay? Do that. I think we're going to go to break real quick, and we'll come back and talk about sports, and we'll get out of here, guys.
Oh, hold on. Oh, where's the file? Oh, here we go.
You want me to say something?
Yeah, keep talking, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, largely the U.S. foreign policy is most likely going to stay exactly the same. Not exactly the same. Like, Joe might bring back some of the Obama-era alliances and stuff like that. A little less Saudi Arabia, a little more Turkey, a little more.
All right, here we go. Bye. All right, yeah.
We getting a little out of focus. Let's focus this up. Let's get into sports, man. It's a sports radio
do that.
network. Let's talk about sports, but let's talk about it our way, okay? Let's look at this first story, man. What we got? We got the Islanders versus the Rangers recently.
Yeah, it's all about that. Peter, how do you feel that the Islanders smacked the Rangers in the first game, put their hockey stick down their throats, and then the next game the Rangers just did the same exact thing? Maybe even did it a little bit harder.
Hey, yo.
Am I?
Peter, you are the resident NHL.
Okay. Well, no, Jared was talking, so.
You said "ayo" because I was making remarks like it was.
Okay. So, the second game with the Rangers, the first one was 4-0 Islanders. Second game was 5-0 Rangers. And, yeah, I mean, you said maybe smack them harder. I mean, maybe that fifth goal, that double minor penalty, that...
Double major minor.
No, that was not it. But maybe that was a bit of a gift from the officials, because, like, there were two Rangers on the Islanders, Ross Johnson. And they've done it before, where, like, even more Rangers would be on one Islander, and somehow only the Islander would get penalized for that. So, there's that. But it was just a rough game. It was a very bizarre game. Before the game was starting, half an hour before, Semyon Varlamov got a puck to the neck, and there was some swelling possibly, there was some issues.
All right.
It's
When
set up.
did hockey become so sexual? Because, Peter, you said 5 things that if I put it into the hub, I'm gonna get a lot of hits back. All right, I'm gonna get a lot of videos back that we cannot show on this platform. So, Peter, what do we feel about the rivalry of the Rangers and the Islanders? Because I know, especially living on Long Island, this is a sport that a lot of people are passionate about here. It's a sport that when people fly the American flag in front of their house, they usually have a hockey team under. It's not a football team. It's not a basketball team. It's a hockey team. So to put a hockey team on the same level as your country, that's a lot. And for New Yorkers to witness hockey being played, what do you think this means? Because we know what the Islanders mean to Long Island. We know what Rangers mean to New York. When they play together, what is that feeling? What is that feeling like?
It's one of the best rivalries in sports. It's been going on forever. It's really good. Always a fun thing to watch. You never know who's going to win or lose, because if the Rangers are bad that year, if the Islanders are bad that year, they're playing each other. It's always a toss-up. You never know.
How you know?
Now, is that the same way as the Subway Series? Because baseball is boring. More boring.
No. What?
Well,
You don't know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on in baseball, then I guess it's boring.
I do my research. First of all, a lot of people are focused on getting strikeouts or home runs, and baseball is getting boring. If Aaron Judge doesn't hit a home run, everyone says, "Oh, he sucks. This and that." The pitchers are going for straight strikeouts. They're not really playing the game. But aesthetically, if you're watching baseball, it's more boring. It's a less of an exciting game than hockey. Hockey, you got grown men take off their gloves and fight like it's two uncles at a backyard barbecue.
It is pretty funny when they smack each other. You just see guys like, that guy just hit somebody. They don't even acknowledge it sometimes. Like when I was watching the Islander game, a Ranger guy hit an Islander player, and the guy just smacked him like he was a Spanish mom right over the head, and they went back on.
Take off the chancla, playa, right over the head. So, and of course, for basketball, until recent times, the Knicks are looking good. Obviously, the Nets with their recent acquisitions, they're going to be a powerhouse. And the Jets and Giants, they've been sucking. So, like for New York,
Buffalo,
for a hockey team to be moderately good and with a sport as exciting as hockey, do you think it means more, Peter, when these two teams go together? Like when
It adds to it. It definitely adds to it. And
just for New York as a whole, with every all-encompassing sports.
Okay. It does mean something. I mean, all that stuff, every hit, if there's a fight, it means a lot. And it's not quite like the Giants and Jets where it's like, oh, they see each other in a real game every 4 years.
Yes.
This is an actual rivalry. They see each other at least 4 times a year. This season it's going to be, I believe, it's at least going to be 7. At least 7.
all I gotta say is that Ranger fans are just like Met fans. They come from the same cloth. Anytime the Rangers win a game, they act like they're going to go to the Stanley Cup. Every single time. I got a lot. Listen, I like the Rangers. I can't pick a side. I grew up with the Islanders, but maybe now I watch more Ranger games. But man, when you meet Ranger fans, they are just like typical Met fans, where the Rangers are the best no matter what. If the team loses, it's an excuse by something. I was watching Rangers game with 2 Rangers fans, and the Islanders got 2 goals, and well, come on, ref! Come on, ref! What is that? What is that? This is bull. No, the guy just made the goal in. But it's just like the Mets. They always blame something else. Yeah, they're just like Met fans, Ranger fans. I love it. They come from the same freaking cloth, dude. But you can't even say anything about Islanders fans. Islander fans, those are the on the LIRR yelling and screaming and beer in their hands. If you look at the jersey they're wearing, they're wearing Islanders. They're wearing Islanders.
Well, I mean, Penn Station.
Team that could be sponsored by Four Loko. That's the one thing.
100%.
Long Island, the teams, the ballparks are sponsored by Bakes and like a local bodega and Four Loko. That's the only thing that can be sponsored by out here, dude. The teams are raucous. The fan base are even more crazy.
Hockey fans are nuts, dude. They will die for their team. If you think Yankee fans or football fans are nuts, hockey fans they live and breathe this thing.
Something's wrong with you already because you go to watch grown men who have exquisite calf muscles and thigh muscles skate around on some ice. All right? On ice.
It's soccer on ice.
Imagine someone watching Peter skate on ice, but they have to pay for that.
I already did. I did it yesterday. I watched
and that mentally scarred you, right? So
100%, dude.
Think about how that feels. So you go watch some grown men with no teeth, I might add. They're looking like they just got messed up by Wile the Coyote. Go ahead and skate on some ice. Think about that.
Have you ever been to a Ranger game, Jared?
I've been to one Islander game, not a Ranger game.
Dude, a Ranger game is so. That's why I started becoming I like the Rangers, because MSG was so cool with the Rangers. I remember I went a game with my dad and never been to a cool hockey game like that. I had the best seats ever. And after everything that happened, there wasn't a second that went by that nobody was yelling. It was like being at a family barbecue. Everybody's talking. The guy next to me was talking. I don't know who he is. It was cool. I gotta admit, their fan base is fun, but man, are they like Met fans. Like I said, man, they're like Met fans.
I mean, that speaks volumes to the power of MSG, too, because, when the Knicks were playing, this is Stephon, Jamal Crawford, David Lee era, we were good, we were solid, not that good, but, that building was never quiet. It was always a very inspirational moment when a layup was cheered very, very loudly. So, yeah,
only sport right here, EDM music going on and on and on and on. I like it because in basketball they'll quiet down the music, and in baseball they'll really quiet down. But hockey, they have it blasted. You're like at Jimmy T's and Oneonta Friday night playing hockey. There's always sounds going on.
But when the puck drops, the music goes on. Maybe the organ will play, but the music itself, the songs, they'll stop those.
That is true. Let me ask you this: because Ranger fans, do you think? Because due to their history of excellence or greatness, and also maybe with a little bit of how great MSG is, do you think that has the effect on their? Do you think that has an effect on their perspective towards the team?
Peter just whispered to me, turned off his mic, and said, "What greatness?" Say it, Peter. You say it, man. Say it. I don't know a lot of stuff about hockey.
This is what I'm trying to ask because Austin said that all Ranger fans have this perceived slight about their team. When they're down for their team, they're always for their team.
They're never they suck this year. It's always they suck, but they're just still going to win.
Yeah, and I related that to how Laker fans are so dedicated because obviously you had the Showtime Lakers and you had Kobe and Shaq before that, so you have a history of greatness. So when something happens, when you're in a lull, you kind of blame it on the ref or you blame it on everything else rather than your team just sucking because you're not used to your team sucking. You're used to greatness. So is that kind of the same with the Rangers, or it's just like their fan base is so oblivious?
It's all you, Peter. Peter just goes, "What greatness?"
It's a little column A, little column B. They haven't done much. They've been in the league for almost 100 years, and they only have 4 cups.
Oh man! My mama said you got 100 years and you only got 4 cups.
I mean, look at Detroit. That's an American team that did very well, even recently. 2008 was their last
Yeah,
cup.
look at that city, Peter. Oh, God. Their city, little best not.
Oh, I mean,
Little bit
sure.
up there.
There's
Oh, there goes Jared.
New York City's messed up too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, aren't they? They both are kind of. How's Buffalo Sabres? Are they any good? Because everybody talks about
I mean,
Rangers and
they got-
Islanders.
They got talent. I think that they're not doing very, very well. You saw the end of the game, the Flyers game.
Evander Kane
The other
fouled
day.
too.
Yeah.
What was that?
What?
Evander Kane, he played for the Buffalo Sabres. He fouled for
He did.
Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
San Jose.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean that. He's playing. He's playing for San Jose. He's scoring and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know what to say. It's not a unique situation, but it's still weird.
I'm always happy when teams from the same state, or especially within the same community, come together and play. Man, you get to see. For a lot of people, it's a moment of celebrity, I guess, because you have all these prominent athletes that come together. But when a powerhouse, two teams come together and play in your same city, it makes you feel like special. It makes you feel a connection to the outer world to see this being broadcast. And everyone's watching it. Yet these two teams reflect your own community. So, no matter if the teams suck or if they're great, I think it's a good reflection for the people.
Do you see hockey becoming more popular? Because when I was in school and stuff, not only like the weirdo kids talked about hockey. Everybody just talked about basketball, baseball, and football. Did it get more popular in like the last 10 years?
What was always popping in my school was baseball and hockey, and then when you get a little older, football becomes prominent in high school and basketball, obviously. But even when young kids, it was always the two foundation sports were baseball and hockey.
See, me, it was baseball and football, mostly football first. I don't know.
Southampton.
Yeah, I guess that's why. I guess did you have a hockey team? Does Farmingdale have a hockey team?
We don't have a hockey team, but like there were a lot of groups around it.
I guess that's why. Because we don't have a hockey team. What about you? You're from wherever you are.
Yeah, Bethpage. Yeah, we got a hockey team.
Then what did you find? Did you find that more people talked about hockey or?
It was pretty evenly split. Most of the discussion was baseball or football, but there were definitely a lot of hockey fans. You'd see different jerseys in the halls. You'd see Devils. You'd see Flyers. You'll see Pittsburgh.
I do gotta say, NHL, Madden, and EA, whatever, NHL is dope. That's a great sports game.
That is
It's
fun.
fun.
I think that it's better than Madden. Like Madden, it gets boring. Hockey, I think it's fun. Baseball, if you don't like baseball, then you won't like. I like it, but
I like the bigs.
the bigs was great when they made it fun. But that's what it is with baseball. It's like you gotta make it a little more fun because the average viewer is not gonna know why this inning's important or why there's so many stuff that happens. Basketball, all right, the score, does he make it? Good. If he doesn't, bad. In hockey, all right, get in the net. People don't know about baseball. Okay, well, if a guy gets a hit, do they score? No one knows. But hockey, NHL is a fun game. 100%. And that's why I'm actually trying to.
Fun game. Another game that was fun. It was like by EA Big.
The bigs and the one where you could punch people. You're able to put Louisville Slugger. Yeah, you're able to Slugger game. Slugfest 2008 or something. Jared, do you know how to ice skate?
Yes, I do.
Damn, I'm gonna start to learn. I never learned how to ice skate. Peter's gonna teach me how to ice skate, man. Oh my god, I'm excited.
It's fun. Yeah.
I'm excited.
But I was going to say before that, yes, one of the Rangers Cups, only one of them, out of the four they have, only one of them have been since World War II.
Really?
94.
And they act like the Rangers are the greatest team ever. See it, MFC, just like Matt. Even more.
MFC,
Even more. Wow.
People,
But
they
you
love
live
MSG.
in a city like this. You live in a city where people are extremely. It's not like Fresno or something like that, where I'm from Fresno. Like, oh, shut the hell up. Go pick my corner. This is New
Who
York.
cares?
When you come from New York, a lot of people have a perceived slight about you. You got the New York attitude. You're gonna be proud for where you're from because you don't want people to condescend upon you. So no matter if you're good or not, you're gonna rep. You're gonna rep, bro.
So you're telling me the Rangers haven't won since 1994, and these Ranger fans act like they won yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought you were getting at.
I didn't know about that part, but that just puts even more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's why the 80s and stuff, the Islanders dynasty, the best dynasty in at least North American sports. 19 consecutive playoff victories. The NHL, the league had to change the playoff finals format to stop the Islanders dynasty.
How many cups does the Islanders have?
They have 4 from that dynasty. 19 consecutive playoff victories.
In the
It's
80s,
crazy. And
You know,
I mean, a lot of Queens.
cracking up, cracking LA.
yeah, you know why?
What? Oh. Yeah,
Let's
I
move
mean
on.
a lot of. But I'm saying from back then, I know some people who grew up in Queens and Brooklyn during that time. Their families, they're Islanders fans.
I do gotta admit, I don't know what fan I am, but I do like the Vegas Golden Knights because I was there. I watched the whole season in Oneonta with my 2 best friends there. So, but I haven't watched them since, so I guess I can't be a fan anymore. But that's a dope team name and a dope city to play in. All right, let's move on. Where do you want to go next? We completely went the opposite way.
Why not Harden?
Let's get into this last topic. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving and the
Okay.
Nets.
Reactions?
First off,
Dude, wow.
First off, let's get into the acquisition of the Nets. Nets got James Harden. We talked about this before, about the effects of the media on sports and how certain media figures can make assumptions about basketball players and what they're going through. We can't lie. When James Harden came back to the Houston Rockets, there was a lot of talks about his unhappiness with the team, with the management. And when he came back, he looked like he was eating nothing but the Filipino crawfish that they have down there in Houston. All right, this brother was big. He looked husky. He looked like he grew his beard out, but it was really his face. It was really his face in a dark shadow. Now, with that being said, you have a lot of people talk about his name in the media. You have a lot of people basically condescend upon him, like, oh, James Harden's not this, James Harden's not that. He's dedicated to the team. He sends out some shots on social media. It keeps on persisting, He goes, listen, I don't know how I can fix this. It's unfixable at this point. I don't know what to do. Next day, he gets traded to the Nets in a blockbuster trade. Sends Karis LeVert to the Pacers, which they find out he has a mass on his kidney, so prayers up to him. Sends Victor Oladipo to the Houston Rockets, and the brother balled out last night. He did pretty good. And the Nets get rid of everybody, all their picks. Jared Allen is gone as well. And now the Nets have James Harden. Now he's there, and he looks happy. He looks fresh, and he looks like he's going to strive. Now, they say this is the league's new big 3, but you can't have a big 3 if all 3 of them aren't there. And for some reason, ever since the Capitol, Kyrie Irving went missing. Now, this is another thing on this show that I don't like, is when people persist that they know what's going down. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know what's going on? Oh, Kyrie Irving, he just disappears because he's going through a move, this, and that. We don't know. Now, I'm going to ask y'all, for these last 2 weeks, he's been gone. He hasn't been here. He hasn't been around. Hasn't been around the team. If a player from your organization is missing without any heads up, what do you do?
All right, so if I say, I'll go by.
If you own the team. If
I own the team and I don't know where he is, especially as one of the, like, I'm going to be, if I was Steinbrenner and Aaron Judge just hasn't shown up, what do I think happened? Honestly, I would think he's probably dead. I would think that and as an owner, if I haven't heard from the player that I pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to, I put foot on this table and he hasn't showed up, I would think that he's either dead or doing something shady. And it's like, I'll be honest, probably thinks he's dead. I would think he's dead. I would think the guy's dead. And I had to go have a search party and go figure out what's going on. If I am clueless. What do you think, Peter?
I haven't really looked into that. Oh, you're saying, okay.
What if you were the president? What if you're the GM of the Islanders and your captain's gone, hasn't shown up? You don't know why.
Like physically shown up.
Yes, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing the Nets, they know where he is. They say he's expected to return Wednesday.
That's not the question. He's asking you what you would.
He just showed up.
I get to the bottom. I get to the bottom of the situation.
Hold on, I'll get you. He just showed up yesterday, all right? There was a 2-week hiatus.
Right.
Basically since the Capitol got stormed, he didn't show up to any games. No one knew where he was. He didn't have any contact with Steve Nash initially. He didn't know where he was. He was gone. Now he showed up for practice yesterday, and now he's expected to play against the Cavs, I think tomorrow. So I'm saying, as an owner, if you own the team and one of your star players doesn't show up, how do you react? What do you do? What do you think?
I definitely get to the bottom of it. I'd reach out to him any way possible, or have someone else do it. Maybe have, if I'm the owner, have the GM or maybe the coach, if it gets that bad, do it. So, I mean, okay, good. I just get to the bottom of it, and if I know that they're okay, and let's say maybe personal stuff is happening, that's definitely happened.
I would have really tried to replace him, even though you really can't replace him. But I would have tried making moves. Because if you're going to tell me that I don't know where you are in the last 2 weeks and I pay you all this money, and you're one of the best players on my team and you just don't show up, then you're out of a job.
This is what it is, man. I totally agree. Now, I don't like to speculate on what happens, but here's how I view it. Kyrie Irving is the basketball player that has had history of not showing up, that has had history of his name being in the media for being very emotional when it comes to not being the man, playing it within the shadow of LeBron. He's not the man, so he goes off to Boston to do so, and then in some games he doesn't show up if he doesn't feel like it. So you bring him to the Nets. He's homegrown. He has an attachment to the team because, he grew up in Jersey, and you think he's going to show up, and then he doesn't show up. So what do? How do you react? And I think it kind of behooves the media to people and people who analyze him to automatically assume that he's gone for a specific reason. We don't know his personal life. And I do commend him to a certain point where he said there's more to life than basketball. I get that. And I think he's alluding to everything going around in the world, like with the Capitol and with Black Lives Matter. The only thing I would have a problem with it, I commend that. Like, you don't think basketball is more important than life. I get that. I totally agree. If I'm paying you all that money, like you said, Austin, you got to at least holler at me before you bounce so I know where you at.
And
if I'm your coach and you don't show up to practice, I text you and you don't text me back, what does that show? You still have a commitment to all those 11 guys, other 11 guys on the team to show up in practice. They depend on you. So let me know what you're going through. And two, if you want to have all this activism, like he bought George Floyd's family a house, that's good. That's great. But if you need some time for reflection, you still need to do that within the realm of the team. Like, you get it. Like, if I lost a family member, right? I can't just say, yo, guys, I'm calling out from work. I lost my grandma. Oh, sorry to hear that. I call out from work, but I take an extra 2 weeks off. It's like, yo, did you bury grandma last week? Yeah, I did, but I'm still.
And you also told them a reason. Well, the thing is too, it's like
a reason, but it's like me staying out for 2 weeks. Talking about, I need a period of reflection to think about life without my grandma. No, you don't.
It's like
those packages.
And it sucks because as a GM, if you know that he's reflecting on life about a BLM, about what happened in the Capitol, he wants to go do all this activism. What are you going to do? What are you going to say to him? Hey, why don't you stop being a good person and don't do what I paid you for?
That's the thing. He said,
like, how can you do that?
He's going through personal family issues. If it's a personal family issue, I'm not going to even comment on that because that's what he deals with. But he kind of made it seem like he was being privy to the actions and to the events happening in the world around him, and he needed to pay attention to it. My only question is, if you're taking time off, are you doing it to be active? Like, are you starting a GoFundMe for people?
Yeah.
Or what do you do? Or do you need a period of reflection for yourself? And if that's the case, you still need to do that being a part of the basketball team.
Wait, what would you?
Go ahead.
What would you do if you were what would you do if you were a director of a play and your main character just didn't show up for any of the plays?
Well, I'm the director of a play. First off, Jair's calling real quick.
It's always great with Jair.
We're live on the podcast real quick. Jair's gonna come. Jair's gonna comment from the inventory delivery van of
at Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. So let's just talk to him real quick. What do you got to say to the people, Jai? Oh, okay.
Man.
Listen, let's get a daily quote from Jair real quick. We're talking about Kyrie Irving, how he has been absent for the last 2 weeks. What do you think about that?
Listen, Kyrie Irving. He's on the
Next. Stop bringing up the old heads. I told you need to update your roster, okay?
There's a new basketball game every year.
12 and get caught up. Kyrie
Every
Irving hasn't
year,
showed up.
there's a new basketball game. There's two.
Kyrie Irving hasn't showed up for the Nets organization for the last 2 weeks. If you're an owner, what do you do?
Bring Paul Pierce back.
Okay, you know what, Jair, goodbye. Jair, goodbye. Jair, goodbye.
I told you to stop getting him on this because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Wait, so just summarize what Jair said. It was a little hard to hear.
He just said if Kyrie Irving's not going to show up, you need to get Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett back. You need to have the old head.
Yeah, we're going to go to the old folks' home and grab him. Yeah, perfect. What would you do? I was saying about the being a director and your main actor didn't show up.
I would reach out to them. And I think what's very keen about this whole thing is having a connection with your talent, with your player, with your actor. This is defined more in college sports, I think, because, a lot of coaches care about the academics of their players,
We got
too.
14 minutes.
We're about to end right now. We're about to end. It
No,
causes
it's
you to care about more than just the player. So you care about their academics and you care about their family, about where they're coming from. You got to have the connection with the actor. You have to have the connection on a personal level. We can leave all that other stuff behind, the play stuff behind, and we can talk about it man to man, woman to woman, person to person, whatever. So that's what I'm doing. I'm calling, but if they're not showing up, I'm getting understudy. And when they do come back, there has to be some type of repercussion. And I get it if it's a personal issue of Kyrie Irving or a family issue. I get that. But if it's just a period of reflection for you to stabilize yourself, the brother's very spiritual. He burns sage before a game, like he's about to be at a luau. Yes, he does. He burns sage in the TD Garden Arena. Yeah, man. I think it's just like there has to be some type of
From a fan perspective, you're probably like, all right, he's the man. But from a business perspective, you're like, where is this man? I'm not gonna cut his checks.
From a business perspective, I'm like, yo, are you okay? Me,
Yeah,
first,
are you good?
because I care about you. I care about you as a person first, then what you can do for me financially after. But I want to know what's going on with you as a person. But if you don't have the open communication to talk to me first or holler at me where you gonna be at, then that's when I have a problem. Because Steve Nash didn't know where he's at. Kevin didn't really know where he was at first. Then they kind of mold that over later. But you gotta talk to me, bro. You gotta talk to me a little bit at least, because I can't be paying you all this money, having teammates depending on you, and for you not to be around. So, and also if you're gonna take time off, be active. Do a march or do something. Go.
Yeah, be so I know where you are. Keep some tabs and stuff, but damn.
But if you're using this because you need a time of reflection, dog, you better hop on that plane, put on those headphones, and do a yoga stance. All right, you better levitate just like you in Marvel vs. Capcom. Do something, because you taking this time off for 2 weeks just because you feel like it. And I know media speculates like when Kawhi Leonard takes time off for load management so he can be prepared for the playoffs. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's not a real basketball player." Back in the '80s, we had to be in the game every day. I did coke before I played. It's like, dude, it's a whole different era. Relax. Like, this brother has to watch his body. He has to taper himself off so that he can be prepared for the long run. But with Kyrie, if you're just gonna bounce like that, and you don't really let me know,
it's not fair. You're not fair to your fans. Not fair to your fans. Not fair to anybody. But in saying that, ran out of time because we want to give the sports hit list their. We don't want to step on their toes. We want to give them at least 10 minutes. So, Jared, anything to say to the people? Any shows coming up? Any plugs? You're not Peter Lewis or Jared Harvin.
You know what it is, man. Sorry for the late start. StreamYard does not like us. The stream is extremely weak, and the yard is overgrown and hasn't been cut since 1995, guys. So we're gonna be here. We're gonna be on time next week. We're gonna be
don't say
There's
that.
no
Please,
promises.
do not say that. Please don't say we're gonna be on
time. There should be no reason why we're not on time. If you
Are you gonna be here?
Yeah, I'll be there. I didn't have access to my car today, but if you had it set up at 9 o'clock like you said you did, all I had to do was come in and set up my lights. And
it was awesome.
So
it was
fine.
great.
We'll be on time next week, 1 o'clock. We're gonna get it cracking. Follow your boy JHarvin15, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, TikTok. Run me up. Yeah.
All right, Peter. All right, me. Okay. All right, Peter. I just want to say thanks for listening to How You Know, a comedy show, radio show. Please download the app, WWSRN on iPhone. That's WWSRN on iPhone. And Worldwide Sports Radio Network on Android, Google Play Store. Worldwide Sports Radio Network, Android, Google Play, whichever you want. If you have any other phone, sorry, I don't know. We have no app for that. Please stay tuned at 4 o'clock. We got the sports hit list by the fans for the fans. Follow me at Austin Titel. Get ready for some good stuff coming up next. All right, Peter, let's give you one more time. And Peter, close us out. All right, and goodbye!
Peter, you had all that stuff to say at the beginning. You don't want to say nothing now.
I said it all. I said it all.
I started playing the
said it
commercials.
all.
You made me come back from a commercial.
I know. We'll see y'all next week.
See you later. Goodbye.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.